Please note this is more of a silly chapter and the next one will more serious. I hope. Also, I do not own Harry Potter or any of the spells and potions. Or the Wizard of Oz. The chapter hasn't even started yet and I'm already cringing. I thought we going to be climbing through the tube, but I was totally wrong. We were being sucked up the tube. It was pretty quick and pretty blurry. Then there was a drop in the end, which wasn't pleasant. I hate drops. I feel you, man. I landed in a small box of memories. Disgust was already out and sadness was climbing out. I followed her and looked around. There were white shelves towering above me, full of memories. I noticed some small blue strangely shaped people vacuuming grey memories of the shelves. What are they doing? I asked Sadness. They are removing faded memories that you forgot, she replied. She looked kind of tired, but definitely I could see some kind of energy in her. Oxymoron much? I'm going to talk to those mind workers. You stay here, said Disgust, tossing her hair slightly. Ugh, sassy girl. Disgust walked over to the blue people and started talking to them. They looked happy to see her. She had probably already talked to them. Does this imply that Disgust frequently leaves headquarters or something? She does realize she's an emotion, right? So Sadness, why did you want to come? I mean, it's not like you Weak. But, I began. Rude lol. Well, I just felt some kind strong urge to go. I don't know why. She replied quietly. One more question. Do emotions go to the toilet and have showers? I asked. I couldn't help myself. Again, these are questions I was wondering from the original film and I put them in the fanfic because I had no sense of story navigation. Well, Sadness was interrupted by Disgust. The mine workers said they know a shortcut that should get us there in about 10 minutes. Said Disgust, holding a map. This way, she said, pointing northeast. Sadness took an apple from the bag and started to eat it loudly, which made me think about the toilet thing again. What the hell does an apple have to do with toiletries? Hey Sadness, you could eat that without squirting juice everywhere. Disgust complained. Sorry. Mumbled Sadness, taking a tiny bite of the apple. We walked past the shelves and it felt like I was walking through the city all over again. The car. The grocery store. Those kids. That chocolate bar. My mother. It was all coming back. Suddenly I heard some laughing. Turns out I'm psycho. Just some stupid mind workers looking at us. Probably expecting us to clink arms and sing "We're off to see the wizard" or something stupid like that. Said Disgust, shooting an annoyed look at the mind workers. Seriously? That line is why I put a disclaimer in the author's note. Also, why would mind workers be laughing at them? They're literally just 3 people walking around. Why is that funny? It made me remember the time I came over to Jesse's house and we watched The Wizard of Oz. Jesse is my friend. He is my male friend. We are not in love or something stupid like that. We are just friends. Yeah, sure, pal. Denying it will definitely make people believe you. You'll learn more about him in another story along with Sky. No you won't. Anyhow, we walked for another few minutes, Sadness eating her apple and Disgust cringing. I wondered what the other emotions were doing. Sleeping? Who knows? We got out of the shelves and we made it to somewhere called Book World. We entered Book World and it was beyond words amazing. There was this Harry Potter section where you got a wand and could do spells and drink potions. Apparently she has the wizarding world in her brain. We spent some time there performing spells. Wingardium Leviosa. I called, levitating some pieces of paper. Sadness accidentally turned Disgust into a dragon, so we had to change her back. Damn, should have gone into more detail about that. Or kept her as a dragon. That would have been epic. I tried out the polyjuice potion, which was pretty awful. I turned into Sadness, and we were twins. No one cares. Disgust refused to take any potions. We also saw the sorting hat, and I went over to get sorted. Ravenclaw bellowed the hat. Sadness got into Hufflepuff and Disgust got into Slytherin. Wouldn't they all get in the same house? They're Eddie's emotions. We finally left Book World to continue our journey to Dream Production. We walked for a few minutes, passing a forest of flying pancakes. I love pancakes, no one cares Eddie, and few other things when we finally arrived. Dream Production was a big, white building with numbers everywhere. What? What do you mean by that? Ready to go in? Asked Disgust. Yes, I said, breathing in. We entered inside. English 100. Random fact, Sky's name is one of my best friend's name and I choose Ravenclaw for Edlia because she's smart. No she's not. Also no one cares. Also fix your grammar dammit. There were mind workers, a behind the scenes and a giant green screen. But that wasn't all. There was so much more. However Disgust lead on through. Grammar. We walked for a few minutes until Will finally arrived at a small golden caravan. Did I even edit this stupid story? It had locked windows and scratches all over it. Disgust cringed at it, but then knocked on the scratched golden door. No answer. She knocked again, but still no answer. Hello? Disgust asked. Me and Sadness were standing behind her, watching curiously. Again no answer. Disgust sighed. Suddenly the door opened. There was a tall baby pink lady with long brown hair and crystal blue eyes. She had ocean blue dress on that was knee height. She was smiling, but it was a painful smile because she realized she was in this fanfic. Disgust. I haven't seen you for ages. She cried, hugging Disgust. Disgust pushed her away. She looked over to me and Sadness. Is that Sadness and Edlia? The pink lady asked in awe. Disgust nodded. She then told the pink lady the whole story. When Disgust finished, the pink lady was shocked. She walked over to me and Sadness. I'm love. The pink woman said, holding out her hand to me and Sadness. We both shook it. Wait, did you say love? Isn't that an emotion? I blurted out. Her smile faded. I was meant to be one. But then I was replaced by joy, so I came here to help the mind workers. I've been here for as long as I can remember. Love said sadly. Sadness gave a small smile. Why? Anyway, we need to get you back. Let's see what I've got in my cabin. Love said, her dress swishing slightly. Disgust nodded. How do you know Love if she's not in headquarters? I asked Disgust. Oh look, a valid question. Her face creased a bit. Well, when you were about 5, Love tried to enter HQ because she thought she was an emotion alongside Joy. She didn't know Joy had replaced her. When she did make it to HQ, I found her and she told me how it was really hard to travel into HQ since she is not welcome anywhere near your controls. So I asked her why. That's when she realized Joy was her replacement. She was really annoyed. No one told her this. Why did she think she was an emotion if she wasn't in HQ? I told I'd help her find somewhere better. So we left HQ. We went to Dream Production and found old cabin there. So that's where she stayed. She is very wise and when we were coming to the cabin she told me one day you'd come to HQ. And she was right. Disgust finished her story. Then she looked over at a mind worker. You. What are they wearing? She cried. I sighed. Back to old times. Yeah, bipolar times. I looked at Sadness. She was silent, with an astonished look. Suddenly Love emerged. She looked happy. She was holding something in her small pink hands. It was white and shaped like a crystal. What's that? Asked Sadness, reaching out to touch it. Love pulled it away and gave it to me. We can't have any emotions touch this. Human only. Love snapped. I was shocked. Where did her nice go? Her face had turned to a snarl. High school in a nutshell right there. There are 2 more crystals. One in subconscious and 1 in HQ. When you found all 3, give them to Edlia and she will go back to herself. Also, tell Joy her 10 o'clock is coming. Love said roughly to Disgust. What the hell, Love? You're even more bipolar than Disgust. Also, how does she know all this? What's her deal, anyway? Disgust face turned into a concerned look. Me and Sadness looked at each other. All right then, Love. Goodbye, Disgust said, nervously. We followed Disgust out of Dream Production and back to a train station. Wait, there was a train this whole time? I asked, shocked again. It wasn't running before, said Disgust. Well, isn't that convenient? Also, how did Disgust know that? A large dark pink steam train had pulled into the station. We climbed on. This will take us straight back to HQ. We need to tell the others what happened and get ready to go to the subconscious, said Disgust, looking at the crystal in my hands. The train started moving and we were at HQ within a few minutes. I've been on a subway before, but a steam train was very different. Anyhow, we arrived at HQ with the other emotions ready to greet us. Disgust ignored their pesky questions and told them the whole story. I like her now, just for the pesky questions part. Love? I forgot about her, said Anger. Subconscious? It's so dangerous, cried Fear. Why are there no new lines separating the dialogue? Uck. Kill me. Besides, we don't know where that other crystal in HQ is. I'm sure it will LLBBFFine. Joy stammered. Love's threat had obviously affected her well. Joy, pull out your flamethrower. Sadness didn't say anything. She was very quiet. Disgust groaned. Oh, drama queens, it'll be somewhere, Disgust said, shutting everyone up. That's when we began to look for the crystal. We looked under shelves, behind memories, behind the core memories, near the controls, but we just couldn't find it. Sadness began to cry. Joy was stammering, Fear was screaming, Anger and had a flame coming out of her head, and Disgust was facepalming herself. I relate so hard to Disgust. When suddenly I noticed a twinkle on the ground. The crystal. I grabbed it and held it high, but no one except Disgust stopped. Why did it just appear out of nowhere? Because this story has no plot, that's why. Disgust grabbed the nearest memory and threw it hard on the ground. Why? Everyone stopped and stared at the crystal. We have found it, stammered Joy. Now just the subconscious one. Yes, Joy, stammer and scream, because soon, there won't be any joy. What the hell? That came out of nowhere. Just like the ending of this video. See you all next time.